Hi, I'm Jake Deffinbaugh, and welcome to Jake's Happy Nostalgia Show, a podcast where me and my friends talk about nostalgic moments and pop culture from our childhoods. We interview people such as actors, producers, composers, puppeteers, and more. We'll be sharing our favorite memories, talk about behind-the-scenes moments, and so much more. I'm your host, Jake Deffinbaugh, and welcome to this Jake's Happy Nostalgia Show episode. Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Jake's Happy Nostalgia Show. I'm your host, Jake, and my co-hosts that we got for this, Wyatt McCullough and Chris Bixby. How are you two?
Amazing.
That's very good.
Especially after the last episode.
Oh my gosh. One of the most funniest
was the best episode yet.
Oh my god, yeah. That I've had from this show so far. And I feel like in the future, it might going to be a few episodes just like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was a funny guy, and special shout out for one of my co-hosts, Chris, that he was the one that get here in the show, and so I like kind of had movie, which is a cool movie. There's some things that people just don't really like, kind of like opposite of the movie, of my opinion to me, but by which I understand, but I like respect to it, which I kind of.
It's a good movie.
Yeah, it is. But anyways, after we talked about
a
few seconds about our last episode, let's talk about this episode. Well,
which I helped you get this person in a way.
Well,
hey, Chris got credit. Where's my credit?
So today's guest that we have today is, well, if you guys grew up with the 90s era of Nick Jr., where where Blue's Clues became a thing and everything and all. Well, do you guys know a part of the theme song, which is "What's so good to go go
Yes, oh my god!
I had to bring that out. Well, today we got one of the kids of the show, and I have nothing else to say, but except round of applause and please welcome to our guest today, Shaina Freeman. How are you, Shaina?
Hey, I'm doing great. Thanks so much for inviting me.
You're welcome.
You're welcome, and you're welcome. Thanks for asking. How about you? Oh,
I'm doing great.
Very awesome. Very awesome. Well, after with this and our last episode and our introduction, let's get right to the first question here.
Exactly.
So the first question for the best of stuff: how you became an actor?
Yeah.
So I started off doing print modeling for like catalogs and magazines and that kind of thing. And my agency just kind of sent along this opportunity. They were like, it's really easy. You'll just have to go and sing a song. And so this was, if I'm not mistaken, this was the first thing that I auditioned for that was like television. I had maybe been in one or two local commercials, but it was just something my agent sent along. And then I don't remember going to many auditions. I think I maybe went to 3 or 4, and every time I just sang the same song in front of different people. The next thing I knew, it started, and then it went on for 4 years.
Wow. That's very cool.
That's crazy.
Yeah. How do you go as yourself,
How'd you find out about the show?
I'm sorry, you said how I found out about it?
Yeah, how'd you get the role for Gullah
Gullah? The show, and then got a role from there.
Yeah, my agency at the time knew about the audition and just submitted me for it.
Oh wow. Well, that's easy for you.
Yeah.
There's a little backstory I'll get into later on.
Yeah, because of what you've done, and the agency just really want you to be on the show, which is really nice, and hard work to get on the show, which it's really amazing how popular the show was, and we still talk about that now, especially here. Honestly,
it's still popular, which is amazing. It's on Paramount Plus.
Yes.
Yeah, that's something
I love
that surprised me. I'm surprised how many times it's been put back on the air. Like it goes off and then I'm like, okay, it's off, it's over. Like nobody will see it again. And then it came back on Noggin.
Yeah.
which I think rebranded to The End, and then it
Yeah.
came on. Now it's on Paramount Plus, and for a while it was on Amazon Prime, and so it's interesting to see how many times it comes back.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah. Paramount Plus is amazing. If you're having that show on there, Blue's Clues and you, so much other shows. Like, Noggin is very nostalgic channel.
Exactly.
To me.
And that's where I remember watching
Missy
Noggin.
Moose, and
that's how I discovered it.
Amazing era.
I discovered the show through Noggin, which is amazing.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah. Well, okay. Let's talk about with regards of the show. So, Wyatt here that wants to have a question that I can say about that he wants to say.
So, what is your favorite moment, an episode, or song that you've done that you enjoyed the most doing? Because we know the songs were pre-recorded.
Yeah. Because there's a lot of them.
And I know in an interview you mentioned It's a Good Spider.
Yeah, that one's really cute. That's like the cutest moment, like when I look the youngest, I look the sweetest. My mom and my grandma like were crying when we were filming it. Like, it was just super cute. So that's like my favorite one to rewatch, but it's not necessarily my favorite song. I guess I like there's this song called Exercise.
Yes, I know that song.
Energy, and like, I really liked that one.
Yeah, that was in the episode Taking Care of Business, I believe.
Yeah, I think
Another one of the
that.
best songs.
Yeah.
You weren't in it, Sally, was Late for All.
Yeah, I had to learn them all for whatever reason. Like, they sent us every week, they sent us a tape of like all the songs in the episode, and we still had to learn them. So I don't know if I was even in that part of the episode, but I really
there was a song, and I know this for a fact. There was a song they brought back in season 4 when you were not on it. That was in season 1, which was the song about Binu Binu. And they brought it back with the other Shaina. They brought it back with you, aka the song about Binu Binu Apollo, which is one of my favorite songs.
I really like the potluck dinner episode. That one's pretty nostalgic.
So that's the one my husband sings the most.
Yeah.
Wow.
And Chansum in that episode too is amazing.
So that puppeteer was really nice.
Do you still know him, or do you still have contact with him?
I don't. Do you guys remember Eureka's Castle?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
I know Noah McNeil, who played Bear in Big Red House, was a dragon. Played a dragon character on that show.
That's awesome. So the Batley character in Eureka
we can learn every single day.
A man who did Chansum.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he used to do that voice for me, like between
Thank you, Chris. That's awesome. And Chansum is one of those characters that one of our friends can do the voice of, but you can do the laugh.
Oh yeah.
Oh, how funny.
How's it for doing the Halloween episode with?
Yes.
Since Halloween's coming up. Yeah.
My favorite song from the Halloween episode is Zap It, with Brian and the others playing the monsters in that.
Yeah, with the remote.
Yes. And it's crazy to think, because I didn't know this, and I don't think Chris knew, Jake knew this, but Vanessa Baden, that wasn't her singing voice for Gullah Gullah Island. It was actually someone else.
It depends, because there are some episodes in the very beginning when they used other voices for the kids, but then as the show went on, it was our voice. So it kind of just depends on the episode.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Do you do you still keep in contact with people from the show?
Yeah, I know most everyone, all the kids, a good handful of the adults, like Ron and Natalie, of course. One of
them on Purple Roads, which Purple Roads is an amazing podcast.
Yes.
Yep. Some of the script writers, some of the producers, like 2 or 3 of the producers, and then
awesome.
I didn't keep in contact with her, the lady who did our wardrobe. But incidentally, a girlfriend of mine was doing a commercial down in Florida, and she was the wardrobe lady for that commercial. And so I got to actually talk to her for a short second. Like, she hadn't seen me since I was, 8.
Right.
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah.
Wow.
It'd be awesome to get some of the kids besides you and Brian on here, like Amani.
Yeah. So
Vanessa and I both live in LA, so we don't get together, but we have gotten together a good couple times because our kids are similar ages.
We need to get her on here. I know she was also on Keenan and Kel.
Yeah. Yes, which is another great show.
Yeah. So since we're talking about those episodes, what is your
There's
experience
one
for
episode
doing
I
the
wanna
birthday
bring up.
episode and Halloween episode anyway with Chanson?
Yeah, what's your favorite episode with Chance and Pelican?
I don't remember. I just remember. I don't remember a specific episode. I just remember there was one where I was in the bedroom and he was coming in through the window, and that was a really unique way of filming that we hadn't done before.
I remember
feeling like it was so much fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember the one, and I think Chris might remember this, but it was Chance's birthday in the episode.
Yeah,
Chance's Big
yeah.
Surprises. That was an amazing episode.
Yeah. Yeah.
Same with the Knock Knock song, going back to songs.
Mhm.
But do you have? But do you know about like that? Or what's your thoughts for you being in Halloween episode for the show?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Can you repeat
What's your thoughts about being in that Gullah Gullah Island, which is one of my favorite episodes?
I think it's always fun when TV shows have like holiday episodes. Like even now,
Yes.
So like
yeah, you guys had a spring one,
especially
as well.
Band of House, the Christmas special, which I know Chris will agree with me on that.
Yes.
Yeah, you guys had a spring one as well.
Yep, spring is here. Yeah, that one had a lot of good songs in that episode.
I love that the spring is here song.
Mm-hmm.
Another one episode I want to talk about, and I know you remember it. It's one of my favorites, and I know Brian was in it. He played, I think it was the Ringmaster or something like that. The Three Billy Goats Breath episode. How did that episode come about, and did you like that?
I did not like that one because I just thought the costume was really silly.
Yeah, it is. And they're making songs in there as well. I like that.
And then I had to do, kind of that silly voice when I was like the troll or whatever,
Yeah.
I didn't love doing that. I got teased a little bit about that episode, but I will say the episodes were fun to film because all of the kids, there weren't many episodes where all of the kids, Brian, Armando, Greg, Jessica,
James.
There weren't that many episodes where we were all together, so those were always extra fun to film.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you also had Irish somebody. It was Armando and Marisol's mother.
So apparently, I didn't know this as a child, but apparently she's like crazy famous.
Yeah.
Where she's from. So I don't remember if it was Puerto Rico or where she was from, but she's like,
and she's still around.
Famous.
She's still around. Same with Marisol and Abuelo.
Now he was really sweet. I don't know if you guys ever watched Taina on Nickelodeon, but
I think I've heard of it. Yeah.
Yeah, he was the grandfather on that show too.
Oh wow.
Wow.
That's awesome. Yeah, I know Chris Knowings was on that show, who was and he later went on to do Sesame Street.
Yep.
Years later.
Cool.
So yeah.
Who cared on that show?
Yeah. The videos are awesome as well. And there's
one.
a video that I know fans are probably going to be dying for me to ask this. What was the video Binya surprised about? Because we know in the trailer, it's you guys outdoors celebrating Simeon's birthday. What was that video about? And you can't find that video anywhere.
I have it. If you do you want to wait a second? I can go grab it.
Yeah, I want to know what this video is about.
Yeah.
I remember seeing the trailer.
Okay, hang on one quick second.
Okay.
No worries.
That video is extremely rare on eBay.
Wow.
I bet if it ever does go on eBay, it's probably gonna be really expensive.
Yeah.
It was sold on eBay before.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because years ago, when I was trying to find Gullah Gullah Island videos, like they didn't really have a whole lot. But then I went on Amazon and bought all the seasons on DVD.
Yeah, I have all the seasons.
I don't know if Fresh Big Band has DVDs just really most of the season.
Well, I bought season 1 first, but years later I got
that.
There it is.
Oh wow.
There. Nice.
So it looks like he has a present for Simeon, and so me and James are supposed to follow a cookie crumb trail to the other side of the island. I do not remember what the prize, like what the thing was. I just remember singing like "Who Stole the Cookie from the Cookie Jar?"
Yeah.
Like a really
That wasn't I think the episode Please Don't Eat Dolphins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then also, if I'm not mistaken, most of these tapes, like the ones that they sold like at Toys R Us, were compilations. So they took pieces from like various episodes. To my knowledge, we never filmed anything that went like straight to video. They just took what was already out there and like fixed it up.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
Oh, Very
That's
awesome that you have it.
awesome.
Well, this of course makes sense. You know, you're in the show. I know you're going to get so much of that show because how you just like both for you being in the show.
Yeah,
so
I
that's
didn't
really
keep
awesome.
much. I didn't keep much myself, but my grandma did. And so recently, my mom like went through the garage at my grandma's house and like brought a bunch of stuff back home that she had saved. Because the ones that we got a video of every episode that we did, but it's just a plain black case and it has like the episode number on it. And it's just a raw cut. So like it doesn't start with face or like anything. It's just like the raw footage. And then my grandma just bought these just because she thought it was cute.
Oh, wow.
well, that's awesome. That's
I know
sure.
Gigi and Chris want to know, and I know the reason, but why weren't you in season 4?
Okay, so there's a short answer and a long answer. The short answer is that I moved away.
Yeah.
Almost all those kids are from Central Florida or Orlando specifically. And my dad and mom just both got new jobs out in California. We moved to California. So that's, short answer. Long answer is just that when I moved away, I joined a lot of activities. I met a lot of new friends. I was starting a new school. And when it came time to come back and, we started filming around the same time every year. And my mom was like, okay, well, let's get your clothes together. And I was like, I don't want to go back. And she was like, okay, well, you don't have to. And it was just kind of like case closed and she just handled it from there. So like, I don't really know the ins and outs of, who she spoke to about it or like how it ended. But, I just basically said that I was having more fun, just being a kid and going to school and, doing all that kind of stuff. And when it was time to go back, she didn't make me go.
We talked about Chanson, but I know they brought him back in the season 4 episode.
Yeah.
Which is awesome.
Yeah.
What was it like doing the birthday episode and riding on that horse?
Oh, yeah.
My birthday?
Yeah, it was Shayna's birthday.
My mom posts that every single year on my real birthday.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Because that's
awesome.
Yeah. One thing that's really funny about that though is my brother's in that, like my real brother in real life is in that episode.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So whenever they did episodes where they needed like extra kids, my grandma would like send my brother out there. So that's really fun. And so sometimes I send that to him because you remember at the end we were like, were we on a pony at the end of that episode?
Yeah, it was you.
Okay.
It was you and the other people, like Simeon.
Yeah, at the very end during the credits, you can see my brother on the pony with like this frog hat on, and it's just hilarious.
Yeah, we'll have to go back and watch it now.
Yeah.
So go back to it where we were answering this, trying to say this earlier. Do you have a favorite episode and favorite song for the show? Because I know for it's Beats by or it's
another one of my
cute
favorites.
moment for you, which I bet.
So Jump In, Jump Out is one that kind of haunts me, I would say, because that's one that across the board, even if you didn't watch the show much, that song in particular. So that's the one that people would always sing at school.
Wow.
I'm surprised Fun Got Lafayette isn't either, because that's a popular song as well.
I wish that it would be, because that's actually like West African, and it has, do you know what I mean? Like that has like a little bit of the culture to it. So that's one song I personally really like. And then I also like, there's one where it's like, it's me, I see you standing.
Yes. That was from the Rain episode.
Yeah, I really like that one.
Yeah. And Jakey, I think
awesome.
I know her favorite episode is School Show, because I know you talked about it in an interview.
Yeah, so school, that one was fun because I actually got to go to a school with other kids my age and
like
essentially spend the day with them.
I mean, not like Sarah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so anything that we were filming that was off stage, like out into the community, those were always extra fun for me to film.
Wow. And what about, for your favorite episode wise?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't think I have a specifically favorite episode.
They're all good.
Well, yeah.
They're all good.
Yeah, so I make sense of your answer, really.
They're all good.
Especially episode Carnival.
Yep, that one was
and
fun.
the talent show episode too.
Yeah, that was Jason's first episode he's seen of the show. Like a talent show.
Yeah, because I unfortunately never grew up with Gullah Gullah Island because where I was born, and there's nothing really that grew up that's aired Gullah Gullah Island. But of course, I know the show, for you know how big the show was, and
I don't remember the song name, but "Jump to the Shore, My Darling" was also an amazing song.
I believe how I even first heard about Gullah Gullah Island was on a Kids for Character, I think it's called.
Amazing video.
Yeah, because they had like a clip of a Gullah Gullah Island episode.
Yeah, and it was the episode Binya Binya follow-up show.
Yes, and then the very first like full episode that I saw was the potluck dinner one that I mentioned. That was probably my first, I think.
How you started watching Gullah Gullah Island, Wyatt?
Nick Jr.
Well,
Nick Jr.
Yeah, because Wyatt, I think Wyatt was born around the time that it was still airing.
Yeah.
Because it aired early in the morning on August.
I remember Nick Jr. used to like to air like old shows or something like that, like for the weirdest reason early in the morning, which I kind of understand why, because in that way to have like other times for other shows to be on.
Yeah.
So all right, so since we're talking about pre-recorded, okay, I know why
this is a question
wants to know about
you want me to ask it?
So
this is a question I want to know.
Yeah.
So we know the songs were pre-recorded. Do you know if Binya Binya's lines and stuff was pre-recorded, or did that was Philip in the suit?
I think that they were. So what we did was everything was done in the studio first. Then when we were on stage, they would blast it out, but we would still have to sing out loud so the cameras could get it. And so what you're hearing at the end is ultimately like a mashup of the two. So they're filming it in real time, but it was always recorded first. Because like he was on stage saying the words or singing the songs in the voice, but it was always still on the track.
Rest in peace, Philip. Justin did a good job.
Yes. Do you have
he did a great job.
Yeah. Do you have a big episode with him? And okay, I know why I said this before about that there are some bloopers or something like that. Where he
what's your favorite blooper?
Oh my gosh. There was an episode where I can't remember which episode it was, but I had painted a picture, like made a picture for someone's birthday or something like that. And I took it down the stairs. And one time the prop master swapped it with like a different poster.
Oh, wow.
Really funny. So they were like, no, bring this one downstairs instead. And then I brought that one downstairs and all the camera people were like dying, laughing. All the people on set were like dying, laughing.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so it's more prank than bloopers, but like they would absolutely do pranks like that on stage. And I just thought it was so funny.
We know that the rap party for that show is actually on YouTube. They had a video going on rap.
Yeah,
cool.
Those parties were awesome. And every year at the end of the season, we would get a video that had like bloopers or like pranks or, just behind the scenes, like whatever, where we're like waving. And then sometimes they'd come into the green room and be like, sing this song or do this. And, so those were really fun. I still have those somewhere.
Very nice. Speaking of bloopers, do you have a favorite blooper that James like?
Yeah, what was... Because we know James Edward Coleman passed away this year. What was it like?
Rest in peace. I know we will be like forever to the Gullah Gullah Island fans.
Yeah. What was it like working with him?
Yeah.
So he was just funny like that, but like all the time. Yeah. So even early.
Probably that's just true. That's why he was so hilarious in every single time he's on the set.
Yeah. Trust me,
he's like that in real life, and that's what's fun because it's not like he turned it on to like be an actor, like literally in the makeup chair. He's like that when we're studying, because you have to, when you're a kid, you have to do a certain number of hours of like school when you're filming. So we had a teacher and we were in like a school trailer, and he was funny in there too. He was funny even after the end of a long day. Like he was just always like that. And so most of my memories of him are just jokes and singing, behind just no matter what we were doing, he was always funny.
Yeah.
He's amazing. Rest in peace, like Jakey said.
Yeah. Just pray. It'd be great for you guys if you guys put like comment down below, just like and just have that pray emoji or something like that for for James because I know Gullah Gullah Island fans are definitely one.
Yeah, I know one of my favorite episodes. It actually
I know who was cool.
Is Whose Friend Are You Anyways? Because I remember seeing that on YouTube as Lost at Gullah Gullah Island.
Is that the one when
that's the one with Greg?
Okay,
Greg gets introduced.
And me and Sarah were like, "Don't you want to be friends with Greg anymore?"
Yeah, and there's a song in there when we have Brian on. I want to ask him about AK the Dinosaur song.
Yeah.
Favorite dinosaur song in
that. Yeah.
So I know what Wyatt wanted to talk about something related to like the pilot.
Yeah. So according to Brian, and there's this clip on YouTube, Brandon Kingle and Gullah Gullah Island. Do you know about the unaired pilot? Because we know there was a different mascot.
Yes.
Do you know about it?
Have you seen it? Do you know what it looks like?
Yes, Brian put it on his Instagram. Man.
Okay, it's super ugly.
Yeah, it is.
Fun fact, though, it showed up on an episode of Taina, which is that show I was telling you about. That show was on when I was like in 6th or 7th grade, and
Oh, he upgraded it.
Yeah, there you go.
Sorry.
It's okay. Yeah, it was.
Okay. Weird. Yeah, and I saw that thing, and I was like, that looks so familiar, but I just couldn't put my finger on where I had seen it. And my mom was like, girl, that thing was in the pilot, but like they changed it. So at first it was supposed to be this concept of an imaginary creature that
kind of like Barney.
Kind of like Barney. And then they changed it.
It's cool that you grew up with Barney.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So
Barney's amazing.
I can't even begin to tell you how obsessed my brother and I were with Barney.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, we've actually had people from Barney on this.
Yeah, we've had quite a few Barney people on the podcast.
Barney actor BJ.
Oh, I'm gonna have to check some of those out then, because like we had the video before it aired on PBS. We had the videos, which at the time I think you could only get in Dallas.
Yeah, Time Life.
Or Barney Back Our Gang.
Like, we were hardcore, and then at the Universal Studios where they filmed Gullah Gullah Island, there was actually a Barney live show.
Yeah.
Right. Yes.
It's sadly closed now.
Mm-hmm.
Any free time that I had, I went straight to Barney Live.
Yeah, it's sadly closed.
Yeah.
Do you know?
Yeah, the Barney attraction closed, I think, kind of recently.
Yeah.
Do you know if the unaired pilot was filmed?
Do I know where what was filmed?
If the pilot is filmed, the unaired pilot.
So I don't know, because I'm sure it still would have been Orlando, because to my knowledge, we didn't go anywhere else.
Yeah, because if it's filmed, we've only seen a clip of it. It'd be nice to see the full thing.
Yeah, and the difference of...
I can look and see if I have it. I don't think that I do, because I wasn't the daughter in the pilot either. I was just a neighborhood friend.
Oh, wow.
I'll ask Brian about it, because I know Brian was in the pilot.
Yeah, and the house, and the look of the house for that clip was completely different, too.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the pilot, that's what the original was, and... You know,
and then I know Marisol had like a bigger role as like the main. She was kind of like more the main kid of the kids. I was just a neighborhood friend, and then whenever they picked up the show or whatever, I guess I got upgraded to daughter, and then they kind of moved a couple other moving pieces around. But the biggest difference is obviously that the mascot went from like an imaginary monster to a frog.
Yeah, which is amazing.
Yes.
And Justin Campbell did amazing in season 4.
Yeah.
Yes, he did.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, thank you so much, Wyatt, with the question, especially for the Gullah Gullah Island fans out there.
Oh yeah, I'm sure a lot of fans are wondering about the pilot too. So
Brian, we'll get more info when we have Brian on.
Yes, he was a part of it for that. So very cool.
Their memories, I feel like, are probably a little bit more clearer than mine because they were so much older. Like all those other kids, if I'm not mistaken, they started when they were 7 or 8. And I was only 4, so like a lot of my memories are like I feel like I remember a weird looking monster, or I feel like I remember this or that.
Because young,
right?
Whenever you're thinking you're older, when you think when you're young, you just don't really remember things when you're young.
Yeah,
so I completely understand.
Yeah, and I actually have an example of people growing up with. Brian's little sister was on the show, and she's a teenager now.
I was in tears the first time I saw her. Like
Lisa Marie.
She was such a like everyone says this about babies, but she was such a precious baby, such a sweet baby. And Brian's dad, because everybody has to have like their grown up on set with them, right?
Yeah.
So for Brian, it was his dad, and his dad was always there every day with his baby sister, and she was just adorable. And then, you know, social media, because like you lose track of people. And back then, you know, all we really had was the telephone. We didn't really, the internet wasn't as, you know, widely used as it is now. And so once social media came and, you know, there was Facebook and MySpace, and like I started adding people. And once I reconnected with Brian, the first time I saw his sister, I was like, oh my God.
She's an adult now.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So beautiful. But she was
so
such a sweet baby.
Yeah, she is.
Yeah. So we're talking about so much about the show, you know, and of course for having much with the we're saying to you about, you know, the show, you know, what, you know, and, you know, it's so crazy that you're one of the most youngest kids for that show.
Yeah.
It
sucks that they didn't have kids on the spinoff.
Oh yeah.
So did they? I didn't know that they did a spinoff.
Until
I heard about
Craig
that.
Lyon.
I had no
Craig
idea.
Lyon, who's a puppeteer, permanently worked on it.
Yeah,
he really wanted to do stuff.
I keep telling my husband that it would be so cute if they did a spinoff, like maybe an animated one.
Yeah.
That's half and half, like Blue's Clues, where it's like animated in the background, but like a live person in the front.
That would have been awesome. Yeah.
That'd be cool.
If the show was to come back, would you return for a reboot? Like the Austin kids as adults now.
Only if it was like a special, right? So I don't know that I could be on every single episode, but if they were like, oh, Christmas is here and Shaina's flying from California, then I'd be like,
they should. They should. That
would be awesome.
They should do it when the Gullah Island would somehow be happened. It's a possibility, but who knows?
They should 100%.
That'd be cool for you being down for that episode. So
there was actually a Christmas episode in season 4, and that was actually an amazing episode as well.
Yeah.
Yes.
And the live shows
enjoy so much holiday episodes of the show. So
and the live shows as well.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So since we're talking about so much about the show itself, what was your thoughts about where the popularity of the show was? Like, you know, the show was like air, like, you know, back in the 90s and probably early 2000s, or just the 90s in general.
Yeah, probably. I mean, I'm not positive, but I would say at least through 99 or 2000 if I had to guess.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what was your thoughts about the popularity of the show that fans of the show will still talk about, and even from you done for the show and everything, and especially for the cast, what they're done to you for the show and everything that's made the show a success.
So I can't speak to everyone else because, like I said, I was younger. So at the time, I knew that I was filming something.
Yeah.
I didn't understand that it was nationwide. I didn't understand that it would re-air like once it had aired once. And so at that age, I was very confused and upset when I would go places and people would like follow me or run after me or yell at me or like, you know, I didn't understand. And I remember one time my dad told me this story, like where he took me to the mall and a bunch of kids were like literally chasing after me, and I started crying and like we had to leave the mall, and I was like, how do they know my name? Like, why do they want to talk to me? Like, I don't understand. So it took me, the popularity of it in the beginning was just scary for me because I was like, wait a minute, what is this? And like I just didn't connect the two, that like, Shaina, that's 5 days out of the week, that's what they're seeing what you're doing. I didn't make the connection. You know, for me, it just felt like almost like a play. Like I learned my lines and I'm here and I'm going to perform it. But like, it never crossed my mind that like other people were seeing it all over the place. And I just got so like scared and confused when people would like approach me. So, and then also, you know, once I left the show, I thought like, okay, that's over. Like, I'm done with that. But I was like, you idiot, there's still reruns, right? Regardless, people can still see you regardless. And you know, the way that people approach you or, you know, whatever you experience isn't going to stop just because you quit. So that was another thing that I kind of didn't quite understand at the time. Cause I just thought like, oh, okay, I'm done with that. And then it's like, okay, well, they're not done with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also remember the hair show episode. That was a good episode as well.
We're saying so much. How a lot of episodes of the show was amazing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, there was
like
5 seasons.
I'm glad we're talking about so much about the show.
There was 5 seasons because Paramount Plus says there's 5.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I wonder how they
Weird.
broke them all up.
I don't know.
I don't know why, but there's 2 things I'm going to say. That's like, one is that I don't know why, but do you like we met? So Shanna, you remember what we just said about where people just go, just chasing you, whatever,
Yeah,
how much people know you from the show. I remember. It reminds me of like where, before Bonnie was like can't like meet people or something like that anymore. Well, except meet and greets or something sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Carrie Stinson, the guy who plays Bonnie for over 2 decades.
Oh man.
Yeah. So back in '91, I think, or around that point, when Bonnie and Friends or Bonnie Bear Gang was still a thing, or Bonnie and Friends wasn't even a thing at that point. There's like a little Bonnie event or something at JCPenney store, and so much people come that literally destroy the store, and
they are in a Barney.
Yeah.
And Baseball was there
I
too,
have to listen to that because what I'm imagining is just so funny to me. Like, people were like, "Oh my God, there was a riot down at Penny's."
Yeah, and I believe Baby Bop was there too. And this was when she was big, when she first debuted.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because when she used to be like big, but then later on in the show she was small.
It's just crazy how big of a following some of these shows have, to the point where fans will literally just destroy a whole mall.
Yeah, I had no idea.
That's
but then
crazy.
once you get older, then there's shows that you like, and then you understand. So like,
you understand how big the show was. Of course, when you're young, you're not even, because whenever you're like young, you just don't even understand whatsoever.
I didn't get it. Like not right away.
Yeah.
As I got older, I started to understand. Right. And then when I was much older, there were my own shows that like fandoms that I was a part of. So like I was a big Degrassi fan, and they used to do these Degrassi on tour where literally you would go to the mall. You didn't know until you got there who was going to be there. Yeah. And then you got to meet 2 or 3 people from Degrassi. And I went to probably 3 of those events. And so now I totally get how exciting it is to see somebody from a show that you love.
Yeah.
Person, but at the time I was like, what the hell is going on?
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like seeing a Barney in person, because I saw Barney's birthday bash and that was amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's the same as one of our co-hosts too. That's not here too, but Rich is also a big Barney fan. That he actually went to tour, which is Barney's Colorful World, I think. So cool.
So do you have anything from Gullah Gullah Island that you want to show that you have?
I know you have the plush in the books, I think.
Oh yeah.
It's all put away right now because we're actually about to have a garage sale.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
So I'm sorry I don't have anything with me today to show you, but I have.
Our fans do. They go to Jason Pleasant's interview. You show it in that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had this is the time of year we almost always do a yard sale in November. So like this is the time of year where I'm like, okay, we got to get rid of this stuff and make room in the garage. But I have a bunch of clothes that my brother and I wore. So like Nickelodeon t-shirts, and it's so funny because they're so small. Like if you see like how little we were. I have that. I have a sweater. I have a mug that says Universal Studios or Nickelodeon Studios. And then I have like a clapper, like those.
Yeah.
I have one of those. All the videos. So I have the ones that you can buy. And then I also have the real ones that they give you like from production. Mm-hmm. I have, so these I haven't seen. My mom says they're in the garage. I haven't seen them, but she says she has a bunch of my scripts.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, cool. So those are cool. They're probably all highlighted, but yeah, and that's what I have. But I'll be honest, for a long time, once it was over, my brain was just on to the next thing. So I was like, I'm starting 3rd grade and on. And like, so then my life just kind of went on this completely different trajectory than, how it started. And so I really didn't think about it much. And I kind of just wanted everybody to forget about it. Because I was like, okay, like, I don't want to talk about when I was in kindergarten. Let's talk about now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a weird were like, what about Gullah Gullah Island? And I was like, that was 5 years ago. Let's talk about, you know what I mean? I didn't get it. And now that I have my own kids and they watch their shows, I completely understand why it's so exciting for people. But at the time I was like, y'all, it's over. Like, do we have to talk about this?
Yeah.
It's like us somewhere. We won't throw it stuff away.
Especially here, you know, to be honest, how much we talk about the show, really.
Yeah.
So.
Well, no, I mean, now it's nostalgia, right? So, like,
Right.
That's
why I mean podcast.
Yeah. So just like what happened with Steve from Blue's Clues.
Yes.
Oh
Right.
That video
Yes.
made a lot of people cry.
Yeah, I was literally crying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like, what is wrong with you?
I'll be like, I'll ask Brian,
Like,
did you
don't understand? You don't understand.
Yes.
Hopefully in the future you can keep in contact with us, help get people who made the show possible and get Gullah Gullah Island on this show.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, especially Ron and Natalie.
Yeah,
really,
or
really
because
sweet
I
people.
know, and Chris knows this, I know another podcast had him, but Justin Campbell would be cool as well.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yes. Having him on would be cool.
Of course.
Yeah.
You know. But yeah, it's crazy that the Paramount Plus is kind of like a little bit with Disney Plus, because both of them are like. Cause I feel like more now it has like where there's such later down the line, it's gonna be like more channels like that's gonna be beyond the shows like for the future, like example, you know, Disney Plus, Paramount Plus, some of those shows, but like. But so if you're talking about Barney, though, it'd be cool if like somehow we're gonna have more seasons of the show on streaming shows, because we actually got it from season 7 through 14. So, but not the first 6 seasons. But I can understand why for the first
because of the pricing.
So
but the 4 through 6. That'd be
And
awesome.
it's crazy to think that Barney got canceled in season 1 and then got renewed and kept going.
Oh yes, that's what's gonna happen after all the funding.
I can't believe that it would ever get canceled, even just for the merchandising alone. Like, just, I mean, I can't even tell. We had Barney bed sheets, PJs, house shoes, dolls, talking dolls, like anything Barney that money could buy. And so to me, it just seems so valuable, even just on the merchandising alone. Like, I'm surprised that Barney's not like Arthur, you know, where it's just on forever.
Yeah.
Arthur's sadly ending next year.
I
know. Yeah, that's sad.
Barney's not around no more. He's not at Universal. I don't know where you can find him now.
Yeah.
They closed the Universal
in Florida in so long, but I bet like it's probably nothing like what I remember.
No.
They completely got rid of it. They replaced it.
They replaced it with something DreamWorks related.
Yeah.
What, like Shrek?
Yeah, something like that.
Lost Babies
or Madagascar, like one of those things.
But they should bring it back.
But the Barney reboot is
or revive it, make like a new version.
It's gonna happen next year.
Yeah.
So
or change it up like a natural stage.
Demi Lovato and like
Selena Gomez,
I remember
both of them are on Barney. Yeah.
I remember Demi Lovato was in the episode where Barney, Kerry Stinson, jumped in the pool. And that was in the script.
Yeah.
That's a good episode. Splish Splash.
I watched like most of the ones that I watched were really, really early, and a lot of them were direct video.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
are you talking about the first three seasons?
Yeah, like they're old. And if you look at the VHS, like they're so janky. Like it's so funny because at that time, in terms of technology, like that's great. But now with everything in HD, like if you watch that, I'm like, I can't even see this. Like, what am I looking at?
Yeah.
I can't show it, but it's up in my room. But I have the very first Barney video I was ever done, aka Backyard Show. And that thing's rare.
Oh wow.
Yeah, Barney and the Backyard Gang.
Yeah,
that Barney Backyard Gang is a really cool series before Barney Friends.
The Christmas one with
yes, that is a good one.
Yeah, my brother
watched that.
Yeah, that was a good one.
One thing I know we didn't mention, but you guys had guest stars. Dennis Scott was on there.
Who?
Dennis Scott.
Okay.
He was on the Gullah Gullah Games episode.
Who was he?
Yeah, apparently. I don't remember.
Was that Gullah Gullah Games? Was that the one with the jump roping, the double dutch?
No, it was the one with Corey and the egg toss game.
So you want to know something about Corey?
The goo toss thing.
me and Corey had done a brochure. It was either a commercial or a brochure for the Disney resorts, the Walt Disney World resorts.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So I had done that with Corey before he even came on Gullah Gullah Island. And then when he finally was cast, I was like, hey, I know you.
Oh, that was
That's
season
awesome.
4. Never mind. That was season 4. They had Dennis Scott on when you weren't on there.
I might have seen it though. I saw a couple of the new episodes after.
That was Brian's era.
Interesting.
Mm.
Very cool though. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very awesome that Gullah Gullah Island did a live show, which is so awesome. You know how big the show was, and it'd be kind of cool if you would have been part. But I think you wasn't even part of the show anymore, or just the full on new kids for the tour, just for the tour. I think
one thing that's really interesting about that is before Gullah Gullah Island happened, Ron and Natalie were touring as a couple and singing all these songs and like kind of teaching a bunch of things with this Gullah culture. That's something that I think I would love to see more of, because they're still doing it. Like they're still doing storytelling and they're still doing songs and like they still travel around performing. That's one piece of a live show that I would love to see, because although the Binya Binya character is really awesome and like the kid songs and all that stuff was really awesome. The songs and the storytelling to me are what I think made the show so unique.
Yeah,
and Ron still got it. Like I remember he did. It wasn't the Gaga Island theme, but it was like a version of it on his birthday. He can still sing it.
Oh yeah,
I was on Instagram.
He had a great voice. I actually have a cassette of some of their songs together.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and some of the songs were from Barney as well.
Yeah,
like Barney did some of them. Like you guys did Green Grass Grow Around. It was all around. Barney did it.
Oh wow.
Yeah. But yeah, it's very awesome that the show did, because I feel like they deserved it doing a live show and how big the show was and everything, which I'm super happy about. Which, okay, I know how big the lot, especially how much audience was for Barney Live in New York City. Like most of them for the tour was like full, like packed. That's how big the show was. And I think it was kind of like for Gullah Island too, which is so amazing. And
it makes you wonder if the lines for the tour are pre-recorded, just like Barney.
Yeah, that would be interesting to know.
I think it was, or probably they live mostly, like
it depends. It depends, because I took my kids to Nick Jr. Live, and it was Shimmer and Shine. So the Shimmer and Shine girls were singing live, but then when it was the Paw Patrol people,
I've heard that show.
I think some of it was recorded. So it seems like it's kind of a hybrid of the two in those live shows. And we went and saw Daniel Tiger live.
Yeah.
Wow. Awesome.
With kids.
I believe the creator of that did
voice.
One of the creators of that.
Yeah. Yeah. And I feel like if you were a part of Gullah Gullah Island Live, I feel like you would have already understand how the big of the show, to be honest. Well, you probably can, because you can, when you're young, you don't really can't think of specific stuff, but one of those two. But
I like live performances personally. It like they're always just slightly different, and you can kind of
to set and go on stage.
Yeah, like the Wiggles.
And you can also kind of feed off of the energy of your audience. Sometimes it's a little cold, like when you're just acting to a camera, and our cameras in particular were pretty far away from us, because there were like, I don't know, I think 4 of them. And so they're kind of far away. And then sometimes they'd be like up on a crane and like zoom in on you.
Right.
So sometimes it's fun acting, performing to an audience versus just the camera.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Heck, live shows are so good. The Wiggles got 2 in the next year, which is their reunion show in Australia. And Fruitella TV tour.
Yeah. Which I'm very excited for that. Do you even know?
Does live too.
Oh yeah. But do you even know the Wiggles?
No, so I don't know when they became popular. I think it might have been once
1991, I believe.
Yeah,
I know they started in 1991.
That's the year they started.
Yeah.
I watched a lot of PBS, a lot of Sesame Street.
Sesame Street's amazing. I'm glad they keep going.
Rogers.
Yeah, Boomafoo is amazing.
Yes.
The Boomafoo.
I liked anything the Kratt brothers do. So my kids.
Exactly.
Nice.
Yeah,
and I know for a fact.
Wild Kratts, it's a good show too.
I think it was either Jake or Chris
of course,
trying to get him off this podcast. There needs to be a Gullah Gullah Island movie as well.
Yeah,
that would be cool.
Yeah, so that really would have been fun if there were, because when you write a script, you're assuming that the episode's going to be like 22 or 24 minutes. And occasionally there are things that get cut out, but for the most part, everything that was scripted, we filmed. But I think it would have been fun to do like specifically like a Christmas episode that was maybe not feature length, but like 45 minutes. You know what I mean? Like something that could have gone to videotape.
Or something like how the kids discovered Ellen, because there was an episode called Follow Our Day in season 4, which explains how Binyas came to the island. And that was a good episode as well.
Yeah, I heard about that there were, I guess, I feel like I remember Natalie saying like, oh, we had a Binya, whatever. I was a kid and I was with your aunt, like Vanessa's mom.
Yes.
Mom, so the aunt.
Pretty awesome.
It's crazy to think they never revealed her mother in the show or father, even though they were in Africa.
It felt... That's something that I've talked about before, and it's a little confusing that they were just like, oh, she's in Africa, and I'm like, so there's like more than 50 countries. Like, could we say she's in Tanzania or like she's in Morocco? Like, where is she? Like,
no, there's an episode, I don't remember what it's called, but the mother calls Vanessa in an episode and talks. Same with the dad.
Wow.
Yeah, I thought that was a little strange, but
understandable.
Yeah. I mean, you would have to explain why there's another child in the house, so I get that too.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
and then Sarah, which is kind of funny about Sarah, because Sarah was their daughter and she's the neighbor kid.
Yeah, well, Sarah, see, and I don't know how much she liked or didn't like acting. I never really asked her, but she's kind of shy, or at least she was. You know what I mean?
Right.
Whereas I was like, where's my audience? Like, who is paying attention to me? That's who I'm performing for. You know, that was kind of my attitude. I just think she maybe wasn't into it. Like, she came and did a couple episodes, which again is what I feel like is better for children. Like, come in every couple of episodes and do, spend a couple of days on set. I don't necessarily think it has to be like you're committing 4 to 5 years of your life to this network, and you may not have normal childhood.
And I just remember the one with you and her playing marching band. That was awesome. That's actually in the intro of the show with all the marching band people.
Oh yeah.
Well,
very cool theme song of the show too.
Because that was a real college, like a local college. That was their marching band, or maybe it was a high school, maybe just a really good high school. But yeah, that episode was really fun to do. And then my brother's in that one too. Pretty much anything that we did out in the community when we were down in South Carolina was really, really, really fun, because there was so much community.
Like the Charleston Market episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so crazy that Peter Lurie was the one who composed the theme song for the show, which he did so much for the shows. He did theme song composer for. He was a backing vocalist for Jungle Junction from DC Junior. He writes so much songs for Brandon House.
Magic School was theme.
I had no idea about any of this, and I think I might have pictures with him. Him and Billy. So there were 2 people that worked together on the music. They were just so cool, so nice, so funny. And I didn't hang out with them all the time, only when I had to go up to record. But whatever I did, they were just so fun to be around, and they just made the recording part so fun, because it could be very tedious, like having to do the same thing over and over and over and over and make sure you get it right. And they made it really fun. And the songs, everybody loves the songs. Like, that's part of what makes the show great. But I had no idea that he had done so much for other shows. That's so interesting.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. He also did as well for the show called Animal Jam.
Yes, Animal Jam's an amazing show.
I haven't heard of that. Is that on PBS?
It was on Ready, Set, Learn. There's actually episodes of it on YouTube.
Yeah.
Can't remember what channel it was on. I know he also did like Bear in the Big Blue House too.
It was on Discovery Kids, though.
It was also
which I mentioned that too. Yeah. Yeah, but it's very cool. But, Peter, he did so much, and for because I know he's gonna be recording so much fun, because it can be fun, but at the same time, it can be tedious sometimes. But yeah,
I'm sure you guys know that if you're editing podcasts. Like, I'm sure you know how tedious all of this can be.
Oh yeah.
Oh, Chris does. Chris is the one who edits them.
Yeah.
Sometimes I wish you do that. So sometimes.
Yeah.
The set was awesome.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was
The sets were awesome.
the
Yes.
same set as Clarissa Explains It All.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, Mitchell Quickman, who's the one who created that show.
Yeah.
I loved that show. But you can mostly only tell from like where the entrances and exits are. So like the doors this way, the stairs up there, the doors through the kitchen. The kitchen has like a kitchen door kind of thing. And so they were just filmed at different times, and they would just completely strip it and then reset it with, you know, our stuff. And our stuff was just super colorful and pretty. I really liked our set design.
You really like your
amazing.
experience of the set for the show, definitely.
Truly.
Right?
Any of the episodes when you guys were on the beach is awesome as well.
Yeah.
Especially the beach episode.
We were all in South Carolina. I love the episode when, again, I wasn't there for this, but when James went crabbing, that was amazing.
That was with Vanessa.
Yeah, I did.
That was the one where we made Corey, I believe.
Yeah, it's funny because like everyone did different stuff, but like I was always wanting to do what the older kids were doing. So when Vanessa was doing double dutch, I was like, oh, I want to do that too. And then like, when they went crabbing, when they went to release the turtles being hatched, I was like, oh, I want to do that too. But then me and Sarah got, you know, our own thing. Like we went and we dug up that clay and like made clay pots.
Yeah.
And then another time we went and like made indigo dye. So like everybody got their own special thing to do. But you know, when you're that age, you have terrible FOMO and you
I believe that was episode 1 you guys did that, which is Ron's birthday.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. I know your experience for being on set for the show was really awesome, didn't you?
Oh yeah. The on set was fun, but I'll say it was the most fun when we were out in South Carolina. Like I got to meet that potbelly pig.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes,
Waldo,
I remember that.
That
Yeah.
market was incredible, that Charleston market, because once we were done filming, me and my grandma just like spent the day there, like shopping.
Oh, wow.
Waldo was the pig's name, and Juliet.
Yeah, the food is crazy good down there in South Carolina.
Nice.
Wow.
It's very beautiful. Like all of that area in Charleston's very, you know, it's very beautiful, very historical. Gullah Gullah Island Day was awesome because like that was the day where they actually were having a festival. So like there really was food.
Yeah, and the pole was greasy.
Going to be tied to food, but it was so much fun. Like just eating all that amazing food after we sang. And if I'm not mistaken, all I had to do that day was sing the Gullah Gullah Island
theme song.
Yeah, I don't think I did much else that day. And we just the rest of the
I
day.
know there was a greasy pole in that episode as well.
Yeah, that was weird. I remember watching that and I just couldn't believe that they could do that. Like I just remember looking and staring like, how do they
Yeah. It's very
The
crazy
nighttime
that
episode's amazing as well.
those are more fun. Whenever anything was different, like it was more fun for me. So like anything that was at night, and of course it was still being filmed during the day. They just put gel filters like on the lights.
Yeah.
And
Right.
they just looked like nighttime and like maybe fog or whatever. And then when it was raining, that was fun. So like whenever they would do that kind of movie magic kind of stuff, that was always fun to see like how they do that. How do you make it nighttime when it's like noon?
Yeah.
Right.
it's crazy that Mitchell Quickman, who's also creator of Who Explains It All, he also created Barry and the Pooh House, The Big World, and The Book of Pooh.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's very cool shows. And the people that who making the sets for the show did a really amazing job. You know how big compare what you said was originally for the pilot, like what I mentioned, and what finalized was for the actual show. Big difference there, to be honest. But the painters or the props who, you know, for me, just, you know, the sets, you know, for the show in general did such an amazing job.
The prop people were really cool.
Yeah,
and
too.
one thing that was fun is that they would like help with homework too.
Yeah.
So like I remember, because I was just in kindergarten, so most of my homework was like worksheets, but Vanessa had some homework once where she had to make like a treasure map, and she made the map and then they took it and like burned the edges for her to like make it like curl up like a real map. It was so cool. I was like,
oh
who
my
else
god,
do this?
That's awesome.
Wow.
Mhm.
That's actually cool. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So for anyone who wants to get into like acting, do you have any advice?
My advice is to wait until you're an adult. And if you have to do it as a child, do short-term projects So like if you're going to do a commercial, for example, that's a 2-day shoot. If you're going to do print work, that could just be a couple hours. I wouldn't necessarily recommend that small children commit to every single day, like series consistently year after year after year.
Right.
That's just my personal experience, or my personal opinion based on my experience, is just that being a kid is so much more valuable, and like that time is so short. It just feels like an awful waste to spend it inside filming. Like if you want to do it, start when you're maybe 15, 16, you're in high school or you're almost an adult, and then you can work the rest of your adult life, and that's great. But when you're a small child like that, my girls are now the age that I was when I was on Gullah Gullah Island, and I can't imagine them going to a studio every single day, spending hours there, doing their, missing school, missing their play.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, like just be a kid.
Right.
Yeah.
A kid can be a kid.
Feel that way, but and if you want to do it, like I said, there are so many short-term projects. You could do a direct, like a direct to DVD, like special, short little Netflix thing. You could do,
or just like commercials or something like that. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Anything to say to your fans that are out there supporting you still, or from Gullah Gullah
Island? Fans.
There you go. We should come back. Maybe we can get
example.
Brian on together.
Hey, if y'all are out there, hello. Thank you for your support.
I'll just say this. I'll be sure to ask Brian about you when we have with him. I'll be like, what was like?
He'll be cool. Awesome for being because I knew you said how good guy he is. So
yeah, it'd be a great.
His dad was so sweet. His sister was so sweet. Like genuinely sweet, kind-hearted people.
It'd be great to have both of you back on the show together.
That'd be awesome.
I only just talked to him on
being a show is probably together, which is
I only talked. I messaged him on Instagram. I told him you were coming on, which is amazing.
He's a sweetheart.
Yeah. So he said you're a great person to work with.
I know. I'm just kidding.
I think
I was probably a little annoying, but I mean, I think kids are at that age, like 5-year-olds, like,
Yeah.
Thank you so much for the words that you said about what three of us, and the fans, and it's not one that just grew up the show. So thank you so much for the words.
So if anyone wants to find you on social media, where can people find you?
I am at Twinthusiastic on Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, Twitter, pretty much everywhere.
Wow.
I do have a blog that's also twinthusiastic.com, and it's mostly my adventures, with my twins. And then I'm just here.
Yeah, everything is gonna be in the description, so they can just click it to it. So it's just your job. So So everyone, Shaina's social media is going to be in the description below, so you can follow her. And you say you have a twin?
I do. I have twin daughters and one little boy.
Wow,
that's awesome. Well, that's funny because I have a twin brother too.
Oh, he's not there. Guys fraternal or identical?
Identical.
Okay.
He's loud. Just so you know, he's
yes.
How funny! Oh, I love that. Yeah, mine are fraternal. And so I mostly just blog about the stuff that we're doing. Like if we go somewhere, if we try a new recipe, if we like build something or make something, if we travel somewhere, that kind of thing.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
People have the screaming goat. Jakey has a screaming brother.
Yeah.
Chris, if it's possible, if that's going to be like the little. Or because I forgot to ask, but which of course is fine. What's your experience for being with Jason for Nick Picks?
Yeah.
Oh, so we got connected on TikTok just because I'm a huge NSYNC fan.
Yeah.
Huge.
All right.
And he did a couple of routines. If I'm not mistaken, Lance reposted one of his dances on TikTok, and so I just started following him. So I was just like these are some amazing dances. I followed him on Instagram, and then he followed me back, and then he just emailed me, to ask about his show, and was just saying that he was talking to people, and people had questions, and I was like, I mean, yeah, if people have questions, I'll answer questions. Like I can do that all day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, Jason's a very cool guy. I know you have fun with him, and some
Jakey,
hit with his friends that was a part of with you too. So.
Yes.
Yeah, and that was just so funny because he said to me, he was like, okay, so we're gonna have some super fans, and I was like, it's funny just because it's so old. I'm like, there's still super fans out there.
Yeah. Oh,
There
yes.
is.
Probably it's gonna be like this
yes.
forever. That's gonna be
And see, I mean, I think that's
forever.
something that's really special. It's just something that I never expected. You know, it's to me, I was literally a 5-year-old. And so to me, it just feels like years away, you know, a lifetime away. But for some people, you know, it's like it was just yesterday. And I feel the same way about Blue's Clues.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if I saw Steve, like, I would lose my mind.
Me and Chris actually share something kind of crazy with you. In the interview, the Jason interview, you mentioned you didn't know it was live shows. Me and Chris did not know that either until someone showed me photos, and there it is.
Yeah.
It'd be cool though if Gullah Gullah Island would like do like live shows. That would be awesome.
It did.
Yeah, they did.
Because I don't remember doing
There's photos of it.
I
don't remember doing any.
One of my friends, Brian probably went to all of them, but was in them.
It was, I remember the Gullah Gullah Island day, but I know we were also filming, so it was live.
Yes.
It didn't feel
that
live.
episode's an amazing episode.
Because we did it like 3 times.
And you guys also had somebody who later went on to do 2 episodes of Blue's Clues, Mike Walker, who was Ranger Mike on the show.
Oh my God. He was a really cool guy.
Yeah.
And if I'm not mistaken, he either just retired or like hasn't retired. Like he's been there for a long time.
We'll find him.
Yeah, he was super cool. My parents are not outdoorsy people, so like that was my very first experience visiting like a state park. You know what I mean? I got to hold a snake in one of the episodes. James went to go do the thing with the turtles, which I was insanely jealous about. It's funny because my husband and I, we went to Mexico, and at our hotel was like they had like this little wildlife preserve, and they were like releasing turtles, and I was like, I finally got to do it.
They did a turtle episode in season 4, which was the finale, I believe.
Yeah.
And then
it'd be interesting which I don't think Gullah Gullah Island was originally going to have a 5th season, but show
and Jakey, it technically did because of Paramount Plus. There was an episode out there.
Yeah. I think I was originally going to have like more episodes of that season, but something happened or something that just a show just wanted to stop. And
and see, unfortunately, that's one of the ways that I like disconnected, because once I was done, I was like, well, bye y'all. So like, I have no idea, you know, when they decided to stop, like why they decided to stop. Whether
they continued, they went on and got Tristan.
Yeah.
Played your character.
It's crazy, to be honest.
Yeah.
Imagine doing the reunion and having you both in the same room, okay, you and Tristan.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, I've never had a chance to meet her.
I will say this: if you guys want to host people host a reunion, we'll do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
it was like a Gullah Gullah Island Zoom reunion. That would be awesome.
We need to.
Yeah. Like, for speaking of Nick Pick's interview that Jason posted today with you, that's a very cool interview, and which is awesome. And I can't wait for what's for him for his episodes for it. And
he also had Chef from the Fresh Beat on there.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. 2 out of 4 Fresh Beats of the show, which is very awesome. And lastly, I'm gonna say this is that it's so crazy that there's actually 2 Binya performers.
Yes.
Which one of them that unfortunately passed away, and other one was did it for the rest of the show.
Yeah. What was it like? What do you have any memories of Philip Garcia?
Yeah, but they were all backstage memories, so they weren't. I don't remember distinctly like filming anything in particular with him, but just hanging out with him backstage, and then also.
Of course, you're fine.
I wonder if the suit is still around, because we know stuff from the show is. I think.
I remember dancing a lot. Like whenever we had a routine, like a dance routine, we would have to go to this dance studio. We had a choreographer. I'm his friend on Facebook too. And we would get together and like learn the dance with Philip because he was Binya. And so that was always really fun. It's almost like an hour or 2 just hanging out with somebody. He was always telling jokes. If I'm not mistaken, his son is about my age. So like,
oh wow.
Sometimes his son was there. He was always just really funny and just really sweet. I was heartbroken when he passed away.
Yeah,
rest in peace.
Yeah.
Again.
Because it still had the same aspect that Philip did. That's what Justin did.
Yeah. Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did amazing that we done for.
And I believe Justin, and Chris could help correct us on this. Didn't Justin do the spinoff?
I think he might have. I don't know. I don't even think I've seen any episodes of the spinoff. I just know that there was one.
No, that spinoff is
probably even from just Positive Review.
Yeah.
No, I'm kind of wondering what the performer for being had to put on the character for the costume for that. Yeah, I know it was hot.
Because it was made out of, like, even just me looking at it, it was made out of, like, felt. So it was already like a heavy type of fabric. I know that whenever they would take the head off, they would, like, spray him with water sometimes, like a little mist or, like just a fan. And they would bring a chair and, like, let him cool down and stuff. And I was just like, wow, that looks really hot. But it was really funny because, again, as a small child, I knew that this was, a character, Binya Binya. It's a costume. It has the head that come off. But when I would leave and go to Universal Studios and I would see those characters, I completely thought they were real. And so that's kind of what I mean about, like, that disconnect between real life and, like, TV, because they had a Barney, like a life-size Barney. And I was like, bye, y'all, I'm going to see Barney. Like, thinking
they got E.T. over there, too.
And I'm like, how could you not know that Barney's not real when you know Binya Binya's not real?
Yeah. Have you reunited with any of the cast these days or in the past after you left the show?
Most recently was Mia. Do you know Mia?
Yes, Mia's amazing.
So I live super near the airport, and she was flying into LA. She was in town with her mom. I think they had something to do. They were here for some reason, but I got together with her and her mom, and we got dinner. And so she's the person that I hung out with the most recently. And then before that, it was Vanessa because, like I said, we both have kids the same age. So her little boy had a birthday party. And so we drove up to go and hang out with her. So, and then of course, because of COVID, we haven't been able to really see anyone in person.
Yeah. Right.
I think if anyone, Brian would be the one to help us get Justin, because he worked on season 4 with Justin Campbell.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very crazy that Binya and Barney was kind of have that same match.
Yeah,
how tough it is to be in the costume and how hard it was.
Yeah, exactly.
And performance amazing, both the performers for the show for the character.
And
job. But yeah,
Barney did hospital visits. We don't know if you guys did hospital visits or not.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just remember always looking at it like, oh dang, that looks hot. Like, I'm glad I don't have to do that. Yeah,
Barney definitely, especially with the jumps and everything.
Exactly.
Especially David Joyner and both of them.
Yeah,
both of them are amazing. Awesome.
And then something else, we had to be really conscientious of taking off the head or any of the pieces because we were filming live in that once an hour, all the people would come like see us in the studio. So like you could do
a live audience.
Yeah, you could do a studio tour. So they weren't watching us the whole time, but at least once an hour, they brought a group through. And so you have to be conscientious of that. You can't have the head off and him like sitting in a chair.
Right.
Yeah.
When the kids come through for the live.
I wonder if this is my question. I wonder if I'm gonna ask Brian when we have him on. Yeah. If the Binya Binya noises were recycled for Justin, so Justin didn't have to do the voice.
I think maybe he did the voice. I don't know.
Yeah,
Brian would know that.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you for coming on.
Yes, thank you so much. This has been really fun.
Thank you so much for inviting me. It's been so nice to meet all of you.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Maybe we can get you and Vanessa or you or Armando on.
You and Brian.
And Armando's the only person that I haven't seen.
We'll get all three of you on.
Well, boom, we go for the future. Go on, that'll be gonna happen, which is very awesome.
Yeah, let's make it happen.
Just keep me updated, and then if you wind up doing a Zoom with Brian, I'll just pop in and say hi and pop off.
No, you know what we'll do? You know what we'll do? We'll interview you again because we did 2 guest interviews last episode, and that was awesome.
Yeah.
You just sit there muted if you want.
Yeah, it's always fun to see kind of what these memories are from other people's perspectives. Because when I was talking with Mia, the way that she remembered things was so different than how I remembered them. And then maybe some things like I remember that she didn't remember. And so that's always fun. That's the fun thing about reminiscing with people is that, you know, when there's two heads, you know, are better than one in that sense.
Well, Shaina, thank you so much for having us on our show, and you know, you're a great person that we have, and you know, I can't wait for, you know, for more Gullah Island people for having a show, you know, and plus, you know, next episode might be for a reunion, who knows? But thank you so much for having, and well, and you're a great person, and keep up. You did a great job what you've done for the show. Keep up your great work, what you're doing at this moment, and can't wait what's going to happen for yourself into the future. You know, for more, you know, more appearances of the show. Who knows? So, which I know you will become back of the show, definitely, right?
Yeah. Thank you guys.
When there's going to be reunion.
Yeah, it was lots of fun.
You're welcome.
It's going to happen. You're very, very welcome. Very welcome, Jenna.
Well, thank you guys for watching. Check out our website, our Instagram, Twitter.
Yep. The words of what I said. Media. And yeah, thank you so much for watching this episode and same as for all the episodes. But really, guys, appreciate support of more with subscribe and, you know, follow social media, website, and everything, which I really appreciate so much. But I have nothing else to say this, but except this. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoy and check out for more episodes coming up, and see you on more of the next episode. From all four of us, all of you, have a great day, y'all, and see y'all next episode. Bye.
Yeah.
See you next time on another episode of Jake's Happy Nostalgia Show. Be sure to follow us on social media and stream us wherever you find your favorite